mid-April of 1979, a CIA operation began, codenamed Operation Cyclone, during the presidency of Jimmy Carter. It was financed and eventually supplied weapons to the anti-communist Mujahedeen guerrillas in Afghanistan following an April 1978 coup by the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan and throughout the nearly 10-year military occupation of Afghanistan by the Soviet Union. Carter's successor, Ronald Reagan, supported an expansion of the Reagan Doctrine, which aided the Mujahedeen, along with several other anti-Soviet resistance movements around the world. The Operation Cyclone program primarily supported militant Islamic groups that were favored by the regime of President Mohammad Zia-ul-Haq in Pakistan, the country that borders Afghanistan to the south and east, at the expense of other groups fighting the Soviet-aligned Democratic Republic of Afghanistan. Specifically, and in defense to the priorities of Pakistan's Inter-Service Intelligence Agency, CIA funding disproportionately benefited Muslim Brotherhood-inspired Afghan Mujahideen commanders, most notably Gulbuddin Hekmatyar and Jalaluddin Haqqani. The CIA also developed a limited unilateral relationship with the comparatively modern northern Afghanistan commander Ahmad Shah Massoud, a favorite of British intelligence, beginning in late 1984. Operation Cyclone was one of the longest and most expensive CIA operations ever undertaken, costing over between 20 to 30 million per year in 1980 and peaking at $630 million during the fiscal year ending in October of 1987, with the war near its end. The program began modestly with provisions of unique antique British Lee Enfield rifles, but by 1986, it included U.S. origin state-of-the-art weaponry, such as thousands of FM-92 Stinger surface-to-air missiles. Michael Pillsbury, Morden Abramowitz, and the Director of Central Intelligence, William Casey, along with the CIA's Islamabad Station Chief, Milton Bearden, have been named as the architects of the ambitious escalation of CIA activities in Afghanistan from 1985 on, as the Reagan administration rejected compromise with reformist Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev in favor of a total Mujahideen victory. Funding continued until January of 1992 as the Mujahideen battled the forces of Mohammad Najibullah's PDPA during the civil war in Afghanistan between 1989 to 1992. After Pakistan brokered a peace deal and the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan began in February of 1989, the CIA's objective was to topple the Najibullah government, which had been formed under the Soviet occupation, even as George H.W. Bush's administration, the State Department, sometimes showed open skepticism toward the CIA's proposed military solution. By 1990, the Pakistan ISI and Gulbuddin Hekmatyar were working to violently eliminate the Afghan rivals, especially Ahmad Shah Massoud, in advance of the anticipated fall of the Afghan capital, Kabul. In spite of the internecine warfare, the ISI and CIA jointly formulated a plan to capture Jalalabad and Kabul during 1989 and 1990, marking a high point in cooperation between the two spy agencies. As part of the offensive, the CIA paid Massoud to close the Salang Pass, which Massoud failed to do so. The Najibullah government finally collapsed in April of 92, several months after the December 91 dissolution of the Soviet Union and the end of the United States aid to the Mujahedeen, leaving Afghanistan, a failed state, in the grip of a multifaceted civil war marked by horrific atrocities and the destruction of its capital, Kabul, in mass casualty rocket chaos. While some U.S. officials initially welcomed the emergence of the Taliban militia as it sought to restore its vision of Islamic order to the Pashtun heartland of Kandahar and the rest of Afghanistan, By the latter half of the 1990s, the administration of President Bill Clinton became increasingly concerned about the relationship between Pakistan and the Taliban, as the Taliban and allied group Al Qaeda became a more direct threat to the United States, its citizens, and its foreign dignitaries. In response to the September 11 attacks, CIA personnel coordinated closely with Massoud's anti-Taliban Northern Alliance militia during the 2001 U.S. invasion of Afghanistan. During the invasion, which was largely planned by the CIA, the administration of President George W. Bush rejected the advice of many CIA officers to send Army Rangers and Marines to Tora Bora, allowing Osama bin Laden and other al-Qaeda leaders to escape to Pakistan. Throughout the nearly 20-year U.S. military occupation of Afghanistan, CIA-backed Afghan paramilitaries participated in numerous massacres and war crimes, most notably the Dashi Lali massacre in 2001.